There was a house slated for a site in Houston, Texas, designed by the Pritzker Prize-winning Mexican architect Luis Barragan that was never built. It was commissioned by the Menil Museum as a guest house for visiting dignitaries. The design exhibits some of the architect's familiar uses of space and color, but doing it for a setting that would have completely changed how it was perceived. In this video, we will digitally reconstruct this structure and explore it as we experience its spaces for the first time. Stay tuned. Hello and welcome to Architecture with Stuart. I've been down to Houston and visited the Menil a few times over the years. It's certainly an important destination for architects. With the main collection housed in a building designed by Renzo Piano, the addition by Johnston Mark Lee, then you have the Rothko Design Chapel and the Swy Twombly Gallery. The entire campus is an amazing collection of art and architecture. However, I never knew that in 1984, Menil commissioned the architect Luis Barragan to design a guest house for them. It would have occupied a typical lot within the surrounding neighborhood. The neighborhood that is largely owned by the Menil and painted that Menil gray in order to make it cohere as a whole. Barragan is known for his large blocky forms and bold colors, and it would have really stood out in this sea of gray bungalows. But alas, due to a dispute about the project between the architect and his client, the building would never be built. But after hearing about this building, I decided to work with some folks to model it inside of the computer, to recreate what it would have been like if it had been built. I'm going to explore that model in this video to talk a little bit about its history, about this gorgeous building, and its architect. Also, there's a link below to explore the house yourself, and the video is broken into chapters to be able to navigate its information at your own pace. So without any further ado, let's explore the Menil house together, beginning with the timeline. The Menil house was designed in 1984 by the architect Luis Barragan for a site near the Menil Collection in Houston, Texas. Luis Barragan was born Luis Ramiro Barragan Morfin in 1902 in Guadalajara, Mexico. His family owned ranches in the state of Jalisco, in whose small town he spent his youth riding horses, attending fiestas, and visiting marketplaces. He graduated as an engineer from Escuela Libre de Ingenieros in 1923 and went on to travel in Europe, where he became aware of the artist Ferdinand Bach, the French cartoonist, artist, and writer. Bach would influence Barragan in profound ways, all the way down to him literally using elements from Bach's drawings in his own architectural designs. On subsequent trips, Barragan would famously meet Mexican mural painter Jose Clemente Orozco, architectural magazine editors, and Frederick Kiesler. In France, he briefly met Le Corbusier and finally visited the gardens realized by Ferdinand Bach. After some years of practicing and travel, Barragan moved to Mexico City in 1935, which would become his home base for many years. And it's now that his work begins to reflect the principles that would define his design strategies, including precise natural siting, simple surfaces of slabs of concrete and immense walls of stucco, and water features, the use of color, and so on. From roughly 1943 to 1952, he developed El Pedregal, or the Lava, a subdivision of Mexico City that incorporates volcanic outcroppings and other natural formations. In 1947, he worked on his own house that would probably become his most famous work as an urban distillation and concentrations of his design strategies. After this, he swore off client commissions, preferring to work as his own developer. And he designed mostly for himself. Some of these include the Las Arboleda residential subdivision from 1958 to 1961, or the Los Club residential subdivision from 1963 to 1964. In 1970 is when he became much more widely known in the United States with a show at MoMA dedicated entirely to him and curated by Emilio Ambaz. By 1980, he was awarded the Pritzker Prize, and then 4 years later, to design a guest house for the Menil Museum in Houston, Texas. The Menil commissioned a 3,000 square foot guest house that would fit into the surrounding neighborhood, but Barragan responded with almost 8,000 square feet that looked more at home in Mexico City than for the site in Houston, Texas. This led to an impasse between the client and the architect, and the bold design was never built. 4 years after the Menil house, Barragan passed away in the year 1988. A foundation was formed in Switzerland that manages his archives and owns the rights to all of his work. The Menil house was designed for this lot near the Menil campus. It sits across the street from the famous Rothko Chapel on a corner that straddles a house that actually sits on the corner. And the Menil basically owns all of the houses that face it, and they paint them all in this consistent gray color. Barragan's house would have really stood out both in its scale, its shape, and its color. The house wraps around that other house that's located at the corner, so the house forms an upside-down L shape. On one side of the L is all the private spaces. The other side is a giant conference room. At the connection is a giant outdoor patio that has all of the more public rooms that flank it. This all makes the house very inward looking. The entire front is made up of less important spaces like staff and production spaces in the kitchen, and the house looks even bigger on the outside than how much interior space it actually contains. That's because the house is a complex matrix of interior and exterior spaces constantly going from one to the other. The roof is the exact same way, where you're within the wrapping of the exterior walls, but you're actually outside. You're inside this small protected world, and if you're let into this world, you're offered an amazing display of art, painting, and sculpture all from the Menil's collection. It also offers spaces for gathering, as this is almost exclusively a house for parties and people to stay only for a few days at a time. This building is fairly complex in section, with rooms at all different heights with stairs and platforms everywhere. This is made even more complicated by the fact that Barragan doesn't draw a straight section cut. Rather, he chooses to shift the section so as to reveal the most exciting parts of the design in his drawings. And speaking of drawing, Barragan made a series of beautifully simple perspectival representations of the house that use simple blocks of pinks and orange. Color is obviously a really important part of the design, and I'm eager to see how the color spills from the pink walls down into the spaces below that are painted white. The plan follows a strict geometric pattern and grid that consists of 3 sized bays, which I label A, B, and C. There are also a number of squares and golden rectangles that guide the sizes of spaces within the overall grid. Modeling the Barragan house was quite difficult, actually. We were able to get access to all of the original drawings from the Menil Museum, but they're light and pretty faded. There's also 2 schemes of the house, the original scheme and the revised one, and it's difficult to tell which one we're looking at in the drawings. We chose to model the original scheme since it was the most complete. We had to fill in a few details by looking at some of the other works of Barragan to see how he liked to detail those things like doors and windows. But otherwise, everything lines up and stacks on itself until everything is closed up into a tidy package of a house. Exploring the house from the outside, the Menil house is a hulking purple mass that comes right up to the street. It's very different from the neighborhood as I know it. The windows seem randomly placed and the front door is perforated, giving me a glimpse to where I want to go. Entering inside is dark and compressed, and I know this is a big house, so it seems like this is a design strategy to create a contrast with larger spaces that we'll encounter later. In the first real room that we get into, we're given a choice to go up or through another door. It's hard to know which one to choose. If you go through the door, the kitchen is straight ahead, but the main path veers left. Some sculptures lead you through the passage that seems brightly lit. These walls are all white, so the color is coming from it bleeding through the light bouncing around. On the left is a room with a great view into the inner courtyard. But if we go right, we can actually get to the courtyard, which is an obvious focal point for the rest of the house. The courtyard is almost blindingly colorful with pink walls and an orange floor that seems to turn upward to create a distinct zone in one of those pink walls. There's also a sculpture and a pool. Moving past the pool is the main conference room. We go through a transitional space before we enter into that conference room, which I know has a giant table and which would have been a main gathering point for people. There are no windows inside of this space to look through, only clear story windows that allow light to bounce down into the space after reflecting off a colored light shelf. If we go back to the beginning and choose to go up the stairs instead, there's another door or a stair choice. The door takes us to a cool little private outdoor space with a small pool, and it's fully enclosed in pink. If we go up the stairs, it looks to end in some bedrooms, but if you continue through, you go to more outdoor spaces and an outdoor stair. There are a number of different outdoor levels up here. The upper level looks back down to a space that we've already been before, while the stairs lead up to a series of smaller rooms that are open to the sky. Look, the Menil House is an absolutely gorgeous display of light and space. I've never had the fortune to visit a building by Barragán before, and while the pictures are always incredible, experiencing the movement through the space adds a completely new dimension. The static view is one thing, but the way that things unfold is clearly an important component of the design. It's like the difference between hearing the singles of a band versus buying the record and hearing the nuanced context for each song. Don't forget to check out that link down below that'll take you to be able to walk around the house in a browser window without any software at all. And while you're there, please consider giving the video a like and subscribe to the channel if you dare. Membership to the channel offers various perks like being able to download the 3D models of the house. Everything helps, and this stuff takes a ton of work, and all of your engagement is great. You'll also be joining these lovely folks if you decide to become a member. Let's discuss your thoughts about the house in the discussion section below, and if you enjoy the video, you might also enjoy some of these others. And then every week we'll be dropping new videos on Thursday mornings. See you then.